Hello, divine creations, divine marvels, children of God. Thank you so much for dropping by this video. I just had the craziest experience. So very briefly, I met someone who's teaching spirituality with a non-dual focus, who has some awareness about Neo-Advaita. And this person, she shared that she appreciated what I had written, and she invited me to a spiritual group that she has. And I went to it, and the group was really nice. The people were nice, and I appreciated this person's awareness about, the difference between authentic non-duality and the bullshit we've been fed here in the West. And she made a number of amazing points. And then there was one person who had been silent. They spoke up, and I don't remember what they said, but it just felt wrong to me. It felt very wrong. And so I very directly said to them, I was like, what you're saying feels really off to me. No, I remember, the person said, oh, well, duality isn't bad. The person who it ended up, they were a Neo-Advaita teacher. I didn't know it at the time. And I said, I don't think duality is bad. And, when something is evil or wrong, it's necessary for my own sanity to say it's evil or wrong. I don't remember what they said next, but in a very short period of time, they were basically started preaching non-duality. They're like, I'm going to imitate this person. Let's put all of that aside and come into the present moment. And let's find. And they also had a heart vibe to their voice, which I'm not able to fully imitate, but let's come into the present. There we go. Let's come into the present moment, and let's find what we can all agree on. Now, on the surface, this seems very wise. There was some tension going on. There was kind of some back and forth. And it was a complete disregard of what I or the person who was leading the meeting had said. I don't remember, it went on for quite some time. I don't remember it all. And everything, and this is how Neo-Advaita works. So I haven't live talked to a Neo-Advaita teacher since I have extricated myself from it. Talking to him was so powerful. It validated everything I knew to be true. No matter what I said, no matter what the facilitator said, this person responded with a spiritual or philosophical idea, and oftentimes a spiritual or philosophical idea that would negate, push aside, or put down what myself or the facilitator said in a way that seemed spiritual, in a way that made this person seem more enlightened, seemed enlightened. And that's what Neo-Advaita is. It's pretend enlightenment. It's a word game. We would ask this person questions, and they literally couldn't answer them. Like the facilitator said, well, why did you come here today? And he's like, I don't know. Or for love. Can you tell us, we asked him, did you have a spiritual experience, that led to freedom? And he said, I can't say. I don't know. What is an experience? Like it was like talking to a robot, but a robot that appears loving, a robot that appears wise. And that's all Neo-Advaita is. It's a computer program that has taken over a person's mind, heart, and body, and then it appears wise. It appears loving. And, I challenged him. I said, well, Ramana Maharshi was able to talk about an experience. Like Ramana Maharshi was like, on this day, I had this experience and I realized this. I said, well, either what you're doing is fake or you're more wise than Ramana Maharshi. I mean, his response was pretty good, but why do you have to put things into a box? See, there's no connection. That's what Neo-Advaita is. There's no connection. This person could literally not connect to what I said or to what the facilitator said. All they could do was analyze, okay, where can I insert a non-duality idea? This went on for like an hour and a half, and the person said little to nothing except regurgitated spiritual ideas. We even called him out. We're like, what you're saying, I was like, what you're saying, I've heard it 1,000 times. And she said, what you're saying is just stuff you heard from your teacher. And his response, well, I've heard many things from many people. So it was a very enlightening experience. Ha ha ha, very enlightening. And is a very tricky experience because a lot of the things that he is saying were very manipulative. For example, the leader went to one of his groups and said that afterwards that in the group she had a really good feeling and she thanked him for it. But afterwards, upon reflection, she's like, something doesn't feel right. Something feels really off. And so when she shared that to him, this was, hi to my live viewers, feel free to share your comments or questions. And so she said to him, when I went to your group, I felt really good and happy. But afterwards, when I reflected on it, I felt like something was really off or something was wrong. Here's what he said. He said, well, yes, in the group, you had that good feeling and you were experiencing the oneness. I forget his exact words. It was something like, you were experiencing the truth. And then you went and on your own and you had these interpretations and you were by yourself. And you could see he even kind of did a little of the body language of like here you are in the group and then here you are on your own. You had these interpretations and judgments. He completely, so basically the facilitator said, hey, I felt good in the group, but when I really reflected on it afterwards, I felt like something was wrong. His response was, well, it's because you were on your own and you got into your judgments. Neo-Advaita is very judgmental, but what it does is whenever someone presents anything contrary to Neo-Advaita, it's like, oh, that's just your judgment, or oh, that's just your mind. Drop the mind. So this woman got in touch with the truth that something was not right about this group. And when she presented it to him in a very manipulative way, this person tried to talk her out of that and encourage her to come back to the group where you can feel good. Now, what I'm talking about here, it's very detailed, it's very subtle. The thing of it is, Neo-Advaita is very subtle. Cults are very subtle and manipulative. And when you're dealing with it, and this also applies to narcissism, which I think most Neo-Advaita teachers are narcissists, you have to analyze everything because there's layers within layers with a narcissist. There's layers within layers of manipulation and mind games. So this person from the very start has, I haven't been there for it, but well, I'm not gonna say that. I'll just share about what I witnessed directly today. Everything that I said, everything that the leader of this group said, this person would take it and then look for a philosophical weakness in it and then try to insert some non-dual ideas into it. For example, when I said to this person, what you just said, I just feel sick to my stomach. Like it feels just so wrong. And he's like, well, yes, that's an interpretation. You're just evaluating me, because here we are on Zoom, sitting on our computers. The mind is very creative. It creates stories. Here's how Neo-Advaita is so tricky. So there is some truth to what he said. It's very easy to project onto people. It's very easy, especially on a Zoom. It's easy to project on people, period, right? Like we human beings do it all the time. But look at what he did. He completely said, well, everything you're saying is wrong, and here's the spiritual explanation. Everything you're, in essence, what he was saying is everything you're doing is just a creation of your mind. There's a smidgen of that you're just projecting things. There's a smidgen of truth to that. That's what we human beings do. So the way to spot a Neo-Advaita teacher is they can't carry on a conversation. All they can do is repeat spiritual ideas, oftentimes spiritual ideas that put you down and put them up. So I'm making lots more videos about this because it was just such an eye-opener. I have not had a dialogue or a debate live with a Neo-Advaita teacher in, it's been years. So more to come. Thank you so much for joining in, everybody. Big love to you.